iron in the soul. What's up, YouTube? This is Iron in the Soul. Back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, leave a comment, share this video. Let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at TheKingJabez. It will be greatly appreciated. Situational awareness is a mark of manhood. Being aware of your environment. As men, we cannot afford to be careless. We need to read vibes, pick up on energy. If someone is dangerous, we need to know that. If a person is up to no good, right? Being in an environment where, this can lead to something bad for me and my family. We have to be alert. And that's something that is a characteristic of a man who's a thinking man, right? If you are a thinking man, if you are observant, in other words, you are in tune with reality. You're not walking around living your life as if you're not living in this dangerous environment. There's always potential for something to go wrong. And situational awareness could be something pertaining to your car, pertaining to your home, people, who you have around you, who you don't have around you, right? All of this is a part of manhood. Being aware of your environment. We cannot be careless. We're not living in a fantasy world. We don't go throughout our lives with rose-colored sunglasses on, okay? It's okay for children to do that. They have that space. And even to a degree, it's okay for women to do that. They have this space, and it's nothing against women. It's the job of men, and it's our job to protect women and to protect our children. And so women have that liberty to be a little carefree, more carefree than a man. And this isn't to say that we can't joke and have a good time. I'm not saying that you have to, because some of you guys will take it to the other extreme, and then you're uptight all the time and you're overdoing things. I've seen guys like that too. I've been that guy. I gotta be honest, I've been that guy. And so I'm not suggesting that. Relax. You can be calm. Situational awareness doesn't mean you're walking around tense, and hyper vigilant. Everything is all about balance, guys. You can overdo anything. So you want to avoid the extreme of being hyper vigilant and making people uncomfortable, right? And you want to avoid the other extreme of just kind of living in la la land. So we got to find a middle passage where we are aware of our environment and what's going on around us, but we're governing ourselves in a way where we are under control. I'm not sure who this quote belongs to. If you know, put it in the comment section. But you're your strongest when you're calm, right? Bruce Lee says something to that extent, that you should watch the calmest person in the room. And that's not an exact quote, but I'm paraphrasing one of his statements. In other words, Bruce Lee, the legendary man, understood that being calm is a trait of a man. And a calm man is someone who has what? Situational awareness. If they are aware of their environment, they're calm, they're calculated. They're calmly and calculated, watching everything around them. And from that place, you can think, you can make decisions, you can be decisive. And that's why I say that this is a trait of manhood. Number 2, we're going to get right to business, not play any games. Humility. Humility is a mark of manhood. You say, Iron, how is that a mark of manhood? Well, a real man understands that humility is not weakness, right? To be humble, it means that you are in tune with reality. You understand your place before the Most High God. That's a humble man. A humble man says, you know what? I'm just one person amongst a billion others. There is a God in heaven. There are angels. And I understand that, for one, there are people who are doing better than me. There are people who are doing a lot worse than me. And so I'm making a conscious decision to be grateful for my lot in life. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't strive for better. You definitely do that. Humble doesn't mean you just decide to be mediocre. Because I think that's what some of you are hearing. You think humble and you think mid. No, I'm not saying to be mid or mediocre, to be average. Humility, here is what it really means. It is really defined as a modest opinion or view of yourself. And so you don't have this ego, right? All guys, we have it to a degree. We understand that. And I would hope as you get older and mature, you learn how to taper that right? We all have our season of just being arrogant and cocky and knowing everything. And it's one thing to think that at 15, 16, even 18, but I would hope by 25, 30 that we will all have matured. And what happens is, at least in my experience, real life will mature you and humble you, right? You get over that cocky, know-it-all stage of your life. Real trials in hardcore life, I wouldn't say it breaks you, but it breaks you into what life was really all about. I guess I'll say it that way. And getting out here and paying bills, fending for yourself, buying your own food, living in your own home, your own house, your own apartment, buying your own car, working a job, dealing with women. We have so many experiences of life that come our way as young men that help to balance us out. And so a humble man is not a weak man, but you're balanced. You have a even kill, right? You want to be even kill. We're all about avoiding extremes. You don't want to be weak, because I know that's what some of you are hearing. I ain't finna be weak. I'm a man, right? I'm not saying be weak. This iron. I ain't saying that. Come on, this iron in the soul, baby. You know what time it is with me. I ain't telling you to be weak. I ain't never taught you that, my boy. So I'm not saying to be weak, and I'm not saying to be timid. And what I'm trying to say is avoid being cocky, overly assertive, running over people. Again, find that middle ground. And so humble is a modest opinion in tune with reality, respectful to others and to yourself. And from that place of humility comes promotion. See, this is what many people don't understand. The boss doesn't promote the cocky guy. The boss doesn't promote the jerk. People don't want to do business with the cocky jerk. Resources, money, and wealth, opportunity, promotion come to men who others want to work with, right? I'll tell you something, guys, and this has just been my experience. I'm not trying to boast, but every place I have worked over the last, let's just say, 15 years, within a year or two of being there, I got promoted to a position of either supervisor or manager. Everywhere I've been. Within 1 to 2 years, I was promoted from a regular worker to a boss at some capacity. You say, all right, why is that? I'm glad you asked me that. Why is that? I'm glad you asked me, my boy. Humility. You see, I understand the principle of honor. If someone is over me, they have the right to tell me what to do. So if they're the boss, I follow the rules. I do what they tell me to do. And when you do that, the boss sees that, respects that, and what happens? They promote you. They delegate some of their authority and responsibility to you. Why? Because you're proving yourself to be a steward. This is what Joseph from the Bible did. Look at Joseph's life. Everywhere Joseph went, it turned to gold. Why was that? Because Joseph had humility. He was a strong man. He was a handsome man. He was a well-built man, according to the Bible. So you had this young, healthy Hebrew. This is Joseph. This young, paint a picture, by the way, young, muscular, healthy, capable Hebrew young man. He was promoted everywhere he went. Go read the book of Genesis. Why was that? Because Joseph had a lot of characteristics, by the way. Humility just one, but he was humble. He was able to receive instructions. He was able to respect other people. And when you can't do that, I give you a warning, my brother, you're going to have a hard time in life. If you can't be respectful to others and know how to govern yourself in a, what will be the proper word here? Wisely will be one way of putting this. I'm in a loss for words right now. Kind of got myself in a trap here. Govern yourself wisely, being prudent, okay, calculated, thoughtful, exercising character, having character. In other words, you're on time. You are a person who is you're approachable. People can talk to you. You have understanding. All of this comes from a man who has a base of humility. Being approachable, observant, prudent, wise. You have knowledge, right? People who have knowledge carry themselves differently. This is the distinction between, think about karate, for example, a brown belt and a black belt. A brown belt wants to show you everything they know. They got about 4 or 5 moves. They will show the whole world. Look at me. Boom, boom, boom. Whereas a black belt, they're confident. They know who they are. See, when you're a black belt in life, you don't have to be overly assertive. You don't have to be cocky. That's overcompensating for a lack. But when you truly are that black belt, when you really are that man, you the man for real, and it's in you, you ain't gotta do all the talk. It just show people see it, man. It'll come right through you. Your whole vibe and energy and aura says you're about something. And people are not dumb. People can observe that very quickly in you. Number 3, learning from older men. This is a mark of manhood. It's like a rites of passage. Men who are older than you have accumulated riches, wealth, resources, knowledge, wisdom, experience that you don't have yet. Doesn't mean that you won't get it, and this doesn't mean that you may not do better than them. Right? I'm a humble guy. There are some young men following me right now who are in their 20s who may be doing better than me financially in 4 or 5 years. That doesn't bother me because the sky's the limit. I want you guys to do well. I want you guys to become millionaires. I want some of you guys to really take off. This ain't no competition. So we're not saying you can't get there. You may be there quickly. But before you get there, and even when you do, glean from the wealth of wisdom there is available to you through other men. And this is why some of you guys follow me. I don't consider myself an old man, but I'm older than some of you guys. I'm still in my 30s. So no one would consider me I'm relatively young for the average person. But to some of you, I'm older. So I have got some experience and wisdom and knowledge you haven't got yet. And so you guys have been smart enough to come over here. Some of you guys in your early 20s say, you know what? Let me learn from Big Bro real quick. That's smart. And you're doing exactly what I did. When I was in my 20s, you guys heard me say this before, my mentors were all in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. I was around older men most of my 20s. This is one of the reasons why I'm able to share the game I share with you guys now in my 30s. As a 20-something, I was asking a lot of questions. I talked to older men about women, about marriage, finances, work, religion, faith, God. I asked a lot of questions. Why? I was a student before I became a teacher. Right? If you want to teach other people, this is why I can say with confidence I'm a teacher now, because I know for a fact that I was a good student. Right? I was a student of the game. I asked a lot of questions. I read a lot of books. I watched a lot of documentaries, read a lot of articles. And so I spent much time in reading, reflection, and thought. I don't just pull these messages out my backside and just say anything to you guys. You all right? This comes from years of study. And I say that not to boast, but I say that because I want you to know who's talking to you. I'm not just some random guy. I have practiced these principles, and I understand the value that an older man can bring to a young man's life. So if you want my advice, learn from older guys. Ask questions. Don't be too cocky. Ask them about cars. They may know some things about cars you don't know. Buying a home, work, how to carry yourself in a work environment, how to deal with women, okay, religion, God, faith. That is wisdom. That does not make you weak. That makes you smart. All right, guys, we're only on number 4. We got some work to do. You're going to need some coffee for this one. Hang in there with your brother Iron Man. Put this on repeat, you hear me? Share this video. Number 4, consistency. You cannot call yourself a man if you are not consistent. This is a mark of manhood. You're not flaky. You're not no fly-by-night guy. A consistent man. Can you consistently go to the gym for 2 years? Can you keep a job for 2 years? Can you keep a woman for 2 years? Can you consistently practice your faith? And I'm saying 2 years to give you a goal. I'm not going to try to give you 5, 10 years and overwhelm you. That's the goal, at least, to get there. But let's park right there at 24 months. Let's park right there, right? We're hitting to a new year, 2023. 2024. Can you be consistent, my boy? Can you consistently stay at that gym, on that job, with your woman, on your game, consistently doing the right thing? This is how you build character. This is how you build a reputation. People know they can depend on you. Right? That goes a long way. The guy that's the most talented don't always win. You know who wins? The guy that keeps showing up. The guy that goes work when it's cold. The guy that they can depend on in the middle of a crisis. One of the greatest abilities is dependability. People have to know they can depend on you. This is the type of reputation you want to have. And that was the reputation I had at my job for years. They knew if I was working there, I was going to be there. If I didn't show up because I was really sick, it wouldn't know I didn't feel like it, none of that type of stuff. I came in sick some days anyway. So if I'm not there, I'm like legit in bed. That's consistency. If I'm not in the gym, it's because I'm either doing a recovery week or I'm not feeling well and I need to recover from that perspective, not just because I don't want to go. So I have been consistent with my workouts. I'm not saying I'm just this power lifter or this, I got this elite physique. I'm not saying all that. I have a pretty good physique, I would say. But I've been consistent. That's one thing you can say about Iron and Soul, is that I'm solid. And as men, we want to be known as men who are solid. I can depend on this guy. And when you have that, my friend, that is a solid mark that you are a man. You are thorough. Huh? People can depend on you. People know you are on your game. And when you can do that, now, if you're not there yet, you haven't done it, you say, okay, Iron, I struggle with this. That's okay. The purpose is for you to work on it. If you're not there yet, that's fine. Make that a goal for 2023. See, that's the beauty about manhood, is that if we're not, guys, let me say this. If you're not doing any of this, the good thing about this is that you can start doing it. This can be implemented. So don't let that bother you. If you're not consistent, guess what? You have the power to change that, man. That's the power of your free will. So if you struggle in this area, guess who can do something about that? You can. Number 5, discipline. A man is disciplined. That's something people are going to respect about you. In your appetite, what you eat, how you spend your time. That's what they kind of go hand in hand. Consistency and discipline kind of go hand in hand, right? They're somewhat different, but you're doing the same thing over and over again. That's being consistent. That's being disciplined. This is one of the traits I respected in Malcolm X, which is why I read his biography a couple of times. He was disciplined in his diet, his reading habits. He was careful how he carried himself around women. He dressed well. He didn't go anywhere looking dusty. Okay. Kept a clean cut, kept on nice clothes and shoes. He was consistent and disciplined. And when you have those traits, other men will respect that. And guess what? Women will respect that too. When women see a man as disciplined, or they may perceive to be as militant, they respect that because they know they can't just run over you. You're about something. And they'll challenge that. They'll try to get under your skin. That's just a woman's nature. They're going to do that. That's fine. But at the end of the day, they're going to respect that solid character that you have accumulated over time. Doing the same thing over and over again, repetition, right? Repetition is one of the keys to becoming great, learning, excelling in life. All of the athletic greats, what do? They're disciplined. You think about your greats in the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, baseball, recently with the World Cup in soccer. These men are disciplined in their diet, in their sleep habits, in their health. They have to be careful with women because they can really mess themselves up in their area with the money they have, the resources. So they have to be disciplined in order to be the best athlete that they want to be. If they're not consistent and disciplined, they will be outmatched by other guys who are. That's simple. Number 6, faith in God. That is a mark of manhood. Why is that? I'm glad you asked me. The scripture says in Genesis that we are created in the image of God. So if I, as a man, was created in the image of God, then it is only logical for me to follow God, to believe in God, right? Why? He made me. This is just logic now. If the Most High God made me, think about this, guys. He created me. I'm a created being. That's what we are. Then it would only make sense to follow the Creator. That's just logic. It's not even deep theology. When I talk about advanced Christianity, that's just basic, my boy. If there is a God, which I believe there is a divine being. He made you. He made me. We need to follow him. We need to ask him some questions. That's what prayer is all about. We need to read his book, the Bible. Oh, you know I was coming. Come on, miss. All right, man. You know that was coming, man. You knew that was coming. Come on, man. You think I'm going to do a video about manhood and not talk about God? Come on, man. You got to read that book. Study the Bible. Memorize verses. Meditate. There are hundreds of principles for manhood in the Bible. I'm just giving a few today. So we have to follow the ultimate. God is referred to as what? A man of war. The angel Gabriel was referred to as the man Gabriel. So God and the angels manifest a level of manhood that we don't have. And that's why the Bible says that in the last days, we will be like the angels. Huh? How are the angels? I'm glad you asked me. Masculine. Sexless. That means they're not controlled by sex. I'm going to get to that piece. And you know I'm going to get to that in a minute. You know that's coming. You know that's coming. That's honest. So you know that's coming eventually. So they're disciplined in that area. Masculine. They have power. They have wisdom. They have a connection to God. And this is a solid mark of manhood. We have faith in the divine being, Yah, Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah, God, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And this is why, my brother, they're trying to feminize men, because God and the angels are masculine. You think I know that? That's what this is all about, my boy. They are attacking God and the angels by trying to feminize the man who is made in the image of God. Oh, you know what time it is for me, my boy. This honor the soul. That's what this is all about. This is a satanic attack against God. This is not my mistake. In feminizing men, you are attacking and trying to blaspheme the Most High God who created man in his image. And in the image of God, we are created to be strong. We are created to be masculine. We are created to be leaders. Let me talk to you. We're created to be priests, providers, and protectors. So here comes the devil and demons and demonic people trying to make us weak. Huh? And they're doing this right now through hip hop. Oh, that's coming. That's their new agenda, man. Why do you think all these rappers dying? Come on, man. There's a reason these rappers are dying, going to jail, because they have a new agenda with hip hop. They want to use that very powerful sound we call hip hop to push this agenda to make men weaker. And guess who said it before they died? The legendary DMX said it himself. What did DMX say? They want me to talk like this and act like that. But no, I want to talk like this and act like that. In that very simple statement, DMX, the legendary hip hop artist, prophet, as far as I'm concerned, he was a prophet, was letting us know this is what they own. They don't want you to be strong. So you listen to me, this iron, my boy, get strong. Get tatted up. I'm going to talk to you. I know you're not going to like this, devil. Get tatted up. Get buff as possible. Get in the gym. Grow your beard out. You understand? Get as strong as possible. You hear me? Do the exact opposite. Fill your mind with knowledge. Fill your pockets with money. That sounds good, don't it? Huh? Come into a room, tatted up, strong, buff, money in your pocket, smelling good, looking good, on point, thorough. So do the exact opposite. The agenda to weaken men, I want to motivate you and encourage you to follow God, because guess what? If you follow God, you're not going to get weaker. That's a lie of the devil. People think if you follow God, you got to become this soft man. No, you're not. You follow God, you become more masculine. You become stronger. You become more dominant, because you have a power behind you now that really authenticates who you are. Number 7, hard work. We got to put in the work. Whether it be working a job for 40 to 60 hours a week, your own business for 40 to 60 hours a week, in the gym for you guys who are athletes, whether it be weight training, playing basketball, shooting over and over again, baseball, football. Some of you guys are fighters, you know what I'm saying? Boxers, UFC, you dig? You got to put in the hard work. No one is going to respect the lazy man. And if you look at your heroes, we all have heroes. We all have people who we admire, respect as men to give us inspiration and hope. None of us respect lazy men. Give me a lazy man that you look up to. Give me one. And then look at 10 men who you actually respect, and what do they all have in common? They all work hard at something, right? I don't care if they are a rapper or an athlete, businessman, politician, pastor, prophet, Muslim leader, whoever it may be that you respect. Hindu, for some of you guys who are, I know some of the guys from India follow me. By the way, you're welcome. All are welcome. Asian culture. By the way, everybody's welcome over here on Honor Show, by the way. White, black, Asian, Hispanic. This is about manhood. Okay? So any man we respect, he's working hard at something. And we can't really be our best version of ourselves being lazy. We can't. One of the things that God did was the Bible says he worked for 6 days and rested on the seventh.